What it means is that Manchester City moved to within a point of Arsenal at the top of the table. Look at that goal difference as well. Plus 20 after 8 games of the season. Manchester United stay in 6th place, having played 7. But it was Manchester United who were hit for 6 by City today. 6-3 was the final score. But Erling Haaland at the heart of everything. 3 goals, 2 assists. And City are in Haaland.
Into De Bruyne. Gomez, fast and low. Hat-trick, hat-trick, hat-trick. 3 in 3 games at the Etihad. He's just ripping up the record books. Family affair, and for Manchester City, a love affair. He left was Haaland. Foden, is he going to get his hat-trick? They've asked for offside, but Phil Foden believes he's emulated Erling Haaland.
All 6 of Manchester City's goals at the Etihad scored by either Erling Haaland or Phil Foden in a 6-3 win over Manchester United. It is the highest scoring ever Manchester derby. City had 22 attempts, 10 of them on target, an XG of 3.37. They had 49 touches in the Manchester United area and 54% possession. But the all-important thing was the goals. They've waited since 1970 for a hat-trick by a City player in the Manchester derby. They got 2. The first of them from Erling Haaland, the second from Phil Foden. Both of them are with Geoff Shreeves.
Phil, Erling, Manchester City had to wait 52 years for a hat-trick in the derby. We get 2 in one day. First of all, you, Phil, just how special was that for you?
Obviously, it's a dream come true, playing in the derby, being a City fan as well. Yeah, me and Erling's built that connection now, and we're finding each other. And yeah, it's just been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to be a part of the team.
Erling, you said when you got here, this was the game you were looking forward to the most. So now you've played in it and got a hat-trick. What do you make of it today?
Yeah, not bad. We scored 6 goals. Yeah, what can you say? It's amazing to win home, score 6 goals here, and yeah, it's nice.
Was it one of those days where the team just clicked right from the off?
Yeah, I feel that way. I think our determination from kick-off was looking right at it, and yeah, we finished our chances.
Was it also on those special occasions as well, once the goals start going, Erling, you just sense, you can smell there's more to come?
Yeah, but it's, you know, you can feel it all the time. You see the passes we give each other. We always want to go forward, we always want to attack, and this is what I love about the team. First of all, you know, we always want to go and to attack, and yeah, in the end it's amazing. It's nothing more to say.
I know that Pep wants you in the dressing room now. Can you just settle one thing for us? Who is going to take the match ball home?
I think we're going to get 1 each, no?
Yeah, I think we have to. One ball for the first half and 1 for the second half. You know?
OK, well, we couldn't split player of the match either, so share that too, guys.
Yeah, Phil.
We'll cut it in half.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
Well, fantastic individual performances from both of them to score a hat-trick in that game. But from City overall, could Pep Guardiola have asked for any more from his players?
No, I don't think he could. I think Foden said that, isn't it? Right from the off, they was just at it. They pressed high. Bernardo Silva, I mentioned before the game, the midfield was going to be a key area, and Man United just couldn't deal with them. Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan in there just ran the game. Foden coming off the lines, Haaland running in behind as well. And everything clicked. There's been so many times that you watch City and they don't finish chances. I think that is the difference now with Man City. When they're getting into them areas, Haaland is just ruthless in front of goal. A bit disappointed to concede, 3 goals in the second half. But yeah, you'll take all the positives from that. I mean, it was a great day for Man City.
I mean, those 3 goals that Manchester United scored in the second half aside, they were never in this game, Roy. What was wrong with them?
The way they started. They were slower at the blocks. Foden mentioned earlier, the way they started again, they sent a message that they were up for it. Obviously, the first goal is huge. A goal done after 8 minutes. Never recovered. There were spaces everywhere. They were sloppy in possession. Rashford didn't get hold of it. The wide players giving away, just sloppy play. Every time City went forward, they looked like they were going to score. Man City were magnificent. Watching Man City, it is a pleasure. Watching them live, they're one of the best teams I've ever seen. But Man United, a huge setback from them. And again, we were giving them a little bit of praise over the last few weeks, but this is a huge step back. 4-0 down at half-time. They were 4-0 down at Brentford. And the performance in the second half, it's no good. You know, even this consolation, they scored a few goals. The game's over. Man City switched off. They made a lot of substitutions. There was no aggression in Man City's play in the second half. They were still obviously comfortable going forward, but defensively, very, very poor. Nothing from Man United to take out of this game, just real. I think from the players' point of view, they really should be embarrassed. You know, you can't go in a half-time 4-0 down in a derby game. It's hugely embarrassing. As brilliant as Man City were, United were desperate, particularly midfield. They got overrun in midfield, defensively all over the shop. Again, we look at leadership. There was nothing there for Man United.
Pep Guardiola said before the game that it always comes down to just a difference in quality between the players. And while Manchester City could argue they have the better quality on the pitch in this game, the application that Manchester United put in, particularly in the first half, the things that you're saying, the sort of immeasurable qualities that they were lacking in that. How can they excuse that in a derby?
For all City's quality, in which they have, you still have to make it a little bit hard for them. We highlighted there at half-time, obviously the first few goals, particularly the first goal. It's 5-10 minutes into the game. It's not as if they've worn Man United down with their passing, they're tired. It's still early in the game, there's no aggression. You've got to close people down. If you drop off the quality of players of Man City, you're going to be in huge trouble. Haaland and Foden were brilliant, but if they're getting the surface when people like De Bruyne and you're giving them time and space, you are looking for trouble. And they got punished, and rightly so, because this game is brutal. Top level sport is fantastic. It's brutal for Man United today. When you're not quite at it, you get hammered by your local rivals. Brilliant there for Man City, absolutely fabulous. 2 players there get interviewed, hat-tricks for both of them, fantastic. But for Man United, again, they should be embarrassed.
I just think with Man United, with the game plan, obviously we thought there was going to be more counter-attacking team. But if you see when De Bruyne was going to get the ball deep, their midfielders was trying to go and press De Bruyne, then was leaving the space right in the middle of the park. And normally what Man United do is go deep and then go on the counter-attack. But in the middle of the park, they tried to go man versus man, and it left a huge gap in between. All that allowed is the likes of Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne to get on the ball, Gundogan running forward, and it created that space for Haaland. That was very, very naive today.
Everyone's got a plan before a game, but when the referee blows that whistle, and to be fair to Pep, he had that message at the start of the game. It's about the players, about the quality, smelling moments, seeing something, reacting to something. But Man United have an experienced team out there. You know, we were talking about how many players Man City were missing, but it was no problem to them. And the one word you'd always use at Man City, whoever comes into the team, is pure quality. That's what they have. Their decision making. They seem to always have time on the ball, whereas Man United just seemed all over the place. And the goals they're giving away, and you're hoping your goalkeeper might make the odd save. Again, imagine, I just can't imagine going into a dressing room when you're a big club like Man United and you're 4-0 down at half time. It must be bizarre, but saying that, they must be getting used to it because they've done it at Brentford. But the manager must be scratching his head with his staff and thinking, we've made progress over the last 4 games. Huge setback.
Lots more reaction to come to Manchester City's 6-3 win over Manchester United in this, the 188th Manchester derby. 2 City players with hat-tricks in this one. We'll see all the goals as well next. City fans with lots to celebrate in the Manchester derby. 6 goals for their side against Manchester United, including 2 hat-tricks. 1 for Erling Haaland, 1 for Phil Foden, and it's the highest scoring Manchester derby ever. Even the Poznan made an appearance. All the more reason for Micah to be breaking out his smile in the studio this afternoon. I don't know what's 4 o'clock. Let's take a look at the goals.
Yeah, it started with Phil Foden. Roy mentioned it at half-time. The whole situation is just too easy from a Man City point of view. No one engaged in the ball. He's got time to bring his head up, decide what to do. But if you just look at Eriksen here, he's right next to Foden. He allows him just to run in front of him, and it's a wonderful finish. You'll see it a little bit better on this angle. But you're in a Manchester derby, the first goal. And what Man United have done, they've put numbers behind the ball, but they're actually not affecting the game. No one's really getting close to anyone. Got time to pick up his pass, gets in a lovely position, and it's a wonderful finish from Foden.
It's a more frustrating experience from your point of view, Roy.
Yeah, it's frustrating, obviously, even then the second goal, you're thinking obviously 1-0, you're still, when it's 2, it's a long way back. Haaland gets a run on Eriksen, he's obviously trying to block him. Varane is off the pitch at the moment because of an injury, and United just look short of numbers. And Haaland, you talk about the ball going, if somebody wants to head it, they're going to head it, and Haaland did.
But
More
look at this.
determination.
We talk about that space in the middle of midfield. You can't give Man City time and space, especially this player, Kevin De Bruyne. Best midfielder in the league by far. He manages to just
You've got to get to De Bruyne,
effortlessly.
You've got to get to De Bruyne.
there.
Forget Haaland.
Paul.
You've got to get to De Bruyne.
Is that an issue with Manchester City, and one that maybe we saw coming when Haaland came in, is that if you concentrate too much on Haaland, they've got other players who can hurt you?
Even De Bruyne here, Eriksen's got to foul him. He fouls him too late. We know brilliant Haaland is a scoring goals, but brilliant assist again. Again, Man City, the hunger, the desire, wanting to get in the right spaces, attacking the ball, and United, again, just off it. But that's enough.
That relationship between De Bruyne and Haaland seems to have come almost immediately, and the one with Foden, as they were saying earlier, is growing. And Haaland, with 2 assists, but with 3 goals in this game as well.
But yeah, if you just look at his position, he's there in the box. He's got 4 players around him, but it's just that split movement there, just in front of Martinez, and you can see it better on that angle. Just anticipating where the ball's going to be and a composure to stick it away. Brilliant movement, really was.
Simple but brilliant. And remember, Kelly, brilliant players love playing with brilliant players. So Haaland, De Bruyne, these lads can't believe it. They're delighted to have him up front. They'll give him the service. They know they get goals. Again, the game is stretched here. It's like kids' football. Haaland takes, 6, 7 touches, 25 yards out from goal. You have to be aggressive in the game. And a brilliant finish. But again, you look at United, obviously all over the place. I think their heads are gone at this stage. Haaland, too easy, trying to play offside. Crazy when you got that amount of numbers back. Easy finished.
Top finish. To get a hat-trick and you're a local lad as well. Just
The first
even more special.
Manchester-born Manchester City player to get a hat-trick in this fixture in the Premier League.
Wow, it's so good to see, because there's many times he's put in really good performances but not scored the goals. So to get a hat-trick in a derby, what more can you want from that?
Manchester United did get goals in this one. It does seem like a long time ago that we were saying, did the defensive injuries to City make them more vulnerable? Well, they did get 3 goals, but at 4-0 down and at 6-1 down, they got 2 more.
It's no good. It's a lovely strike. We can all get a bit carried away, but the game's done and dusted. Sometimes it's easy to play when you're losing. The game is gone. Again, City lads switching off. Brilliant strike, of course. Listen, taking nothing away from the strike, but way too little, too late. Again, Man City have switched off at this stage.
But Martial looked sharp when he come on. Like you said, it's a little bit easier when you know the pressure's off, but you've still got to do it. I thought he reacted really well here, just to get his head on the ball there, and just.
But look at City are defending like Man United did in the first half. Look, they've got the numbers back, but everyone's just walking. There's no intensity to their play. But obviously, the game's over. Look at this, the lads just dangling their legs in. And then, again, this is lack of concentration. Again, the game's over. Silly challenge. Lovely finish.
It's a lovely penalty for Martial.
Yeah, it is. And listen, it'll probably do him the world of good of scoring a couple of goals. Obviously, he's got plenty of injury problems. Something for him to take away from the game, but not in terms of where the team are.
Let's hear from Christian Eriksen. He's with Jeff Shreves.
Christian, just how demoralising a defeat was that?
Yeah, I think it came very heavy. I think everyone feels it as a very, very bad day at the office.
What was missing today?
Yeah, I think we started on the wrong foot. I mean, they had a lot of chances straight from the game and straight from kickoff. And yeah, I think we can only blame ourselves from not coming really into the game at any point.
What was it you weren't doing? You say you started off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, I think we missed a bit of courage to play out from the back, and we let them be in their strength. So yeah, I think the main focus after this game will be on ourselves. I mean, there's a lot of things that we need to change, a lot of things we need to do better. Yeah, today was far from acceptable for what we should be doing.
It's not much more that Christian Eriksen can say after that result.
Yeah.
What does it say about him that he's the one who's come out to talk to the media?
Well, he's a senior player. He's a quality player. He's a top international player. So yeah, you expect one or two of your senior players to come out and front up for what is a bad performance. But it's difficult after a match like that. What can you say to him? He knows that. He's to concede 6 goals, and he just hit the nail on the head. He said, the way we started the game, you start on the wrong foot. It's very hard to switch on. Again, if you're a goal down, but against Man City after 8 minutes, and they had a couple of chances before that, that's sending a message that you're not quite at it. And for Man City then to kind of get their tails up and go, listen, these are here for the taking. And once it was 1 or 2, and we're sitting here and we're at the stadium, you get a feel for the game. You smell what's going on, and you're thinking, oh, I don't like this. This is going to be ugly, and which it was. So don't be fooled by the second half. Man United scoring a few goals. It's the game is done. As I said, I just trying to visualise what they were like in the dressing room at half time. They've got a lot of experienced players in there, and an experienced manager and an experienced staff. What they must be thinking at half time, they must have been shell shocked at half time in the dressing room. 4-0 down. Oh God, obviously it happened earlier in the season. For some reason you think it's a derby game, there'd be more intensity, they've learned their lesson from earlier in the season. But it's again back to square one.
Really difficult afternoon for Manchester United yet again. For Manchester City, they're still celebrating. Pep Guardiola yet to come out and talk to Jeff. But as soon as he does, you'll be able to get that and lots more reaction on Sky Sports News and right across our digital channels.